Crete, the largest Greek island, where for thousands of years man marches hand in hand with culture and history, where for centuries singing bears roots and mellows life, where dance becomes a way and a spark of love in the eye of the listening girl. Here in celebrated Crete, welcome aboard the eldest vessel of European civilization. Welcome to our world, in a macrocosm of microcosm. In the middle of Eastern Mediterranean, with a surface of 261 square kilometers and a coastline of 1046 kilometers, Crete defines the southernmost part of Europe. It is divided in 4 districts that consist of 68 municipalities and 3 communities. Archaeological excavations brought to light evidence that confirmed the habitation of the island before the Neolithic period, while the forthcoming centuries prepared the great civilization that Evans called Minoan. Around 1900 BC, the first royal centers are established in Knossos, Thestos, Malia, Arhanes, Zachros, and Kydonia. In mid-15th century BC, the Minoan civilization declines and becomes a myth after the conquest of the island by the Dorians in 1100 BC. From the written monuments of Minoan Crete, 3 types of writing have been preserved: the hieroglyphics, Linear A and Linear B. The Dorians dominate the island until the subjugation of Crete to the Romans around the middle of the 1st century BC. The rule of law during this period in the Cretan cities is remarkable, as recorded by the Queen of Inscriptions in Gordina. The arts of sculpture, metalwork, and miniaturization with Eastern influences flourish. Soon after that, the missionary Titus, who founded the first church in Gordina, spread Christianity in Crete. With the constitution of the Byzantine state, Crete, along with North Africa, form a united prefecture. The relatively peaceful period that follows to the beginning of 9th century comes to an end with the conquest of the island by the Saracens. In 961, Nicephorus Phocas recaptures Crete and reinstates it as part of the Byzantine Empire. A century and a half later, the Venetians will dominate it for more than 450 years. The island will enjoy an enormous cultural growth in the last centuries of the Venetian domination. Dominicus Theotokopoulos, better known as El Greco, is classed among the major artists of this era. The Venetian endowed the cities with private and public buildings that still at present retain their glamour and radiance. The next invaders of the island are the Ottoman Turks in 1669. The struggles of the Cretan people for their liberation extend throughout 19th century. Arcadi became the lighthouse for the rebels. The formal reunion of this great island with mainland Greece took place in 1913. The contemporary Cretan person enjoys both urban and rural life, striking thus a balance between the modern and the local traditional lifestyle, while at the same time he is involved with trade, manufacture, tourism and light industry. Parallel to his modern activities, the Cretan person always seizes the opportunity to execute his traditional activities. In this manner, he expresses his free and independent spirit. Both in villages and cities, the loom is still found, with women weaving the adorned bedspreads and the woolen embroidered sheets, knitting or embroidering by the side of their front door, working delicately the age-old knitting work of Copanelli. Another image still preserved is that of the next-door neighbor sitting with straw, weaving all kinds of baskets or hats for sun protection. We can even come across men picking reed or preparing branches of osier for them to weave traditional utensils around the house. In the cities, the old blacksmiths have become extinct. The makers of the famous Cretan knives, with their distinctive strong blade, the handle made of animal horns, and the wooden, leather, or sometimes silver sheath embossed with illustrations. The wood carver also still survives. The wood engraver, the inspired artisan that gives life to wood with marvelous creations, miniature works and decorations. We meet him creating handmade musical instruments, sweet-voiced Cretan liras and violins, tuneful lutes and mandolins. The demand for the survival of the traditional style of living has brought to surface the old craftsmanship of the shoemaker. The Cretan shoemaker knows well the whims of Cretan weather. He pays attention to detail, and his handmade boots never fail the user. The Minoan potter still makes a living from his handcraft in many places around Crete, creating pots for use or decoration, rivaling his ancient ancestor. In recent years, there is a systematic publicity and promotion of Cretan products, mostly organic, whose cultivation is encouraged. Significant manufacturing plants of assembling, packaging and transporting of Cretan products have developed in Crete. Numerous are the cultural events organized by the municipality authorities every summer in the cities and the villages all around the island. Tourism is the strongest developing industry on the island and occupies the largest part of the working force. In their elegant traditional costumes, with their needlework and ornaments, men and women look impressive. Women of Crete nowadays are actively involved in women's cooperatives. In remote villages, the traditional way of living is still very much a daily practice, and traditional methods are used in the cultivation of land. And amongst them comes the feast, where protagonists are the feast, dancing and singing. Cretan dances are predominantly performed in groups and circular patterns. Sitos, Pendosali, Malevisiotis, Susta and Siganos are the most well-known Cretan dances today. Merrymaking and dancing goes on at festivals until very early in the morning. Wood varieties, the natural taste of Cretan products and the purity of nature have shaped the special character of Cretan gastronomy. Nutritional and tasty foods are produced and play a great part in the dietary process offered even by the large hotel units on the island. Fresh vegetables, Garden produce, cabbage and pulses consist the largest part of Cretan dietary. On the Cretan dining table, food is always accompanied by homemade wine from the family cellar. Raki is the balm of Cretans. A strong and feastful alcoholic drink is produced in a joyous atmosphere at the villages from grapes or berries. On the uneven land of Crete, 3 mountain ranges rise, namely White Mountains or Madares, Idi or Psiloitis, Dicti or Lassithiotica mountains. Among the high peaks, the plateaus of Omalos, Nida on Psiloitis, and Lassithi Plateau on Dicti are formed. Smaller mountain ranges, mountains and hills with small arable patches of land, outline the morphology of the land. Rich springs with cool and gargling waters paint the Cretan landscape. On the island, there are many modern table water companies that bottle and distribute their products all over the island. Only a few of the Cretan rivers flow in summer. Torrents that have shaped the island's landscape through times are more often encountered. On the island's mountains graze flocks of goats and sheep. The wild flora of Crete accounts more than 270 self-sown herds. Crete does not have large plains. The most famous is the plain of Messara. Crete's only lake, Lake Kuna, is located at Georgiopolis municipality. Crete's chalky soil creates impressive imprints on the rocky sections of the island. There are more than 2,700 caves, with stalagmites and stalactites in their interior. The coastline of the island offers an exceptional lie of the land. Unique for its beauty is the self-sown palm trees forest at the beginning of Cavo Sidero, Sitia County. The production, packaging, promotion of Cretan organic olive oil are gaining ground in Crete. Fishing has also a prominent position in the economy of the island. The rich sea environment caters for this developing sector with a variety of fish catch. The most significant growth taking place is in the tourism sector. The modern infrastructure, along with the well-known Cretan hospitality, guarantee to deliver an unforgettable stay, rich in experiences.